And thank you for tuning into my podcast show. I'm Qurious. I'm your host. You could be doing a whole lot of other things, so I don't discount that. I thank you so very much. My topic today is me going out the country to where? Indonesia, Bali. Now, the reason I chose that place is because a friend of mine told me about it, and I said, okay. I started to do research. So after I found out all the information, I called her. I said, hey, Queen, I got the information. And so she kind of declined. So I said, I'm going anyway. She said, you going? I said, I'm going to leave you. So I found the agency and I called them, and I called at the right time. They had a special going on. I couldn't beat the price. So I booked it and off I went to Indonesia, Bali. So everything was going smoothly. When I got to the airport, I was cool. That big, beautiful plane was cool. I knew I had to ride at least 17 and a half hours. I had to get off and be transported to Bali. But in the process of all of that, I kept telling myself, let's do this. I don't care what's going to happen. I don't care what's going on. Nothing's going to interfere with my vacation. Why? Because it was my trip and my treat to myself for my birthday. Now, my birthday was in May, and I went in October because I don't like traveling when it's too hot. Because when you travel outside the country, you have to do a whole lot of walking. And so when it's hot and walking, being them two things in my mind, that just wasn't working. So I went in October. The weather was perfect. So when I got to Indonesia, Bali, I got off the plane and there was nobody to greet me. I was supposed to have a driver meet me when I got off the plane. Well, when you go to Indonesia, there's so many people, a whole bunch of people just everywhere, people just everywhere. And so they were bombarding me. Do I need a taxi? Do I need a ride? Do I need a dryer? Now, mind you, I'm out the country. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking very, very different because there's not too many American black women over in Bali, okay? You may have foreigners, but I'm talking about American black women. So they knew that I was out of place. And so the beautiful thing about those people over there, they're very humble. They're very kind. It took at least an hour for them to help me. Now, check this out. You have a whole lot of people helping you, but it doesn't matter if the right person is not helping you. So nobody could help me. So finally I told the people, just put me over there at one of them columns. Now, mind you, I got my suitcases. I got everything. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm stinky. I just want to go lay down somewhere. So they took me to the column. I'm just sitting there chilling. And I was just saying, Lord, you got to do this for me. I don't know what's going or what's happening. So I went back to the counter and I says, can I call somebody in the United States of America? They said, oh, well, you can't use our phone. You have to use your own phone. And so I called my sister, Patience. I told her, be quiet, listen very carefully, and do as I say. And sometimes when you're traveling outside the country, you got to make sure you have a source that you can call that can move when you need for them to move. When I placed that call, she was on it. She was writing it. I wasn't breathing. I had run-on sentences going on. My mind was going 50 north. I called my twin sister. She didn't answer the phone, so I had to rely on Patience. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, Lord, what am I going to do? What I'm going to do? So finally, they took me back to where I was sitting at the column. And I'm just sitting there, and I looked up. And two men passed me by. So here we go. I'm an American. My mind is thinking all kind of things. So finally, the one man comes and he sits beside me, and I'm looking at him like, what's going on? What really going on? He said, what's happening? I said, I'm stranded. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm in a different country. I didn't know if I should cry or whatever. I knew if I started crying, they wouldn't understand nothing. So I had to talk to myself. Talking to yourself make you feel better. That's a true statement. And so the man is talking to me very calmly, and I'm kind of looking at him, sizing him up and everything. He said, I'm not going to harm you. I'm in transportation. I have my badge. I said, can I take a picture of it? I took a picture, and he said, I'm going to help you. And I'm like, well, how you want to help me? He said, I'm going to help you get to where you're supposed to go. I said, well, where my driver at? Well, the problem was I was supposed to be on an island. I got in at 11:30 in the p.m. and what I learned moving further on, the hotel closed at 10 p.m. That's why nobody could reach where I was staying. I was like, do I really have a place to stay? Is this a hoax? I'm over here. I got 2 weeks. And so what am I supposed to do? Okay. Anyway, moving forward, the man says, I'm going to take you to my friend's hotel. I'm going to put you up. And in the morning, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to take you to the boat dock so you can go to your island. Well, he did exactly that. And I'm telling you, when you have clout, oh, that man had clout. I didn't have to show my passport, identify, nothing. The man looked at me. They gave us the key. The man walked me to the hotel. He said, you stay here. Here's my business card. In the morning, you just give it to the gentleman at the desk and I'll be there waiting for you. I'm like, yeah, okay, right. American thinking, right? I go in my hotel. I said, I sat up and I didn't sleep. The only thing I washed was my private parts and my face. I kept all my clothes on because I'm in a different area. I'm out the country. I don't know what the hell going on. So I finally got my brain together and nodded out, kept nodded out. Okay, and then the next day came. I did what the man told me. I went to the front desk. I handed the man card and he's like, oh, that's so-and-so. He up there waiting for you. Mind you, 6 o'clock in the morning. When them people tell you they're going to be there at 6 o'clock, they're going to be there at 6 o'clock. They're going to talk about, oh, I overslept or I forgot about you like they do here. When them people tell you something, they want the money. So now I'm starting to calm down just a little bit. And so he's talking to me. He said, I'm going to take you to where you're supposed to catch your boat. And I'm going to go in ahead of you and make sure everything is okay. And I'm sitting in the car like, this man going to kidnap me, whatever. They're going to beat him up, whatever. And the man turned to me and said, you are in Bali and we do not hurt visitors. You are very safe here. So then now my guard's coming down a little bit. Coming down just a little bit. So he did exactly that. He went in. He helped me get my ticket and everything. He stayed with me until I caught my boat. It was a speedboat. And I'm telling you, when I got on that boat, them folk over there, they ain't playing. Water coming, everything, riding. I'm happy. 40-minute ride from Bali. I'm going to my island now. I'm going to the island. The moral of the story is, people, when you're traveling outside the country, you have to be very, very calm. You have to be patient. And you cannot come from the United States of America with your nice, nasty self and expect somebody to help you. See, one thing I knew, if I couldn't speak that language, they do speak English, broken English. All I did was smile. That's all I did was smile. Thank you so very much. And that thing over there is like that. So between me smiling and I was on point. And so I finally got to my destination. I get to my hotel and everything way up at the mountain. I asked the Lord, I'm on vacation. I need to rest my brain. But wow, you put me way up in the mountains. I'm like, you know what? It took an hour to go up and an hour to come down. So the only way I could come down off my resort is by a private driver. So every day that I was there, I had to have a private driver. Now check this out. Remember I told you walking, you had to walk up the steps, down the steps. And I'm like, this ain't the truth. This is too much walking. So I got to get bumped into another suite because they didn't have hot water. So my first night, I had to take a cold hot shower. And then the next day I said, is this what's going on? They said, no. We're having a problem with your water. So that's how I got bumped up to a beautiful suite. See, the enemy was trying to discourage me, but in my mind, I was saying, let's do this. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to have a good time. Ain't nothing going to ruin my trip. And after I got that suite, it was on and cracking. I had a driver every day. Let me tell you something. I would rent the driver, do my time, and then they would bring me back. They liked me so much that they took me off the clock. I was on mopeds. I was on motorcycle bikes. I was on trucks. I mean, I went out from 10 and didn't come home to 10. I was having a ball. I hung out with the local people. And when you hang out with the local people, you get to see everything and do everything that they do. See, when you go on the regular resorts, you just do what they want you to do. But when I travel, I want to hang out with the locals. I want to see where they go. I want to see what they eat. I want to see where they party at. I mean, that's just my get down, because ain't nothing old about me. You know what I'm saying? And so over there, you have to do a lot of walking. So if you're not in shape, you don't need to be going out the country. You can go out the country, but mind you, you're going to have to do do some walking. And understand this, those people, they don't have canes, walkers, they don't have wheelchairs. I'm like, well, what's going on with America that we have all this sickness going on? Because they eat very healthy. You understand me? Those people walk for miles. And miles with big things on their heads. You have 80 and 90-year-old people walking. You have children walking this. I'm like, you know what? We are some spoiled people here in the United States of America. The staff love me. I'm like, is anybody here seasoned? All the staff was young people. So, you know, that was my group right there. We all bonded like a family. Them young folk, they took good care of me. Do you understand me? The kindness of those people. And I know what it feels like for real to be treated like a queen, like royalty. They thought I was a rock star. They thought I was a celebrity or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's called favor. See, when you have favor on your life, you understand me, you cannot blend in. And why do I say you can't blend in? Because the Lord says we are peculiar people. So we are peculiar people. How the hell are we supposed to blend in? And if we are supposed to change the atmosphere, you understand me, that's a mighty beautiful thing. And so I would hire the same driver, Abby, and we would be all over the place. I mean, that boy had me just everywhere. And every now and then I had to tell him, you know, I'm a seasoned lady. We got, come on, let's do this. So everybody where I went start saying, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on, you can do this. But let me sit down. I had to sit down and take a break. Half the time I would never really get to see the ocean because that's a long walk down to the ocean. Not only that, you got to come back up. You understand me? Huffing and puffing, trying to be cute at the same time, representing, what I do over there. So when you leave outside the country, people, you have to make sure you know what you're doing. And the error came in because the travel agency did not contact me the night before to confirm that my driver could not come until the next day because I was actually on an island and not Bali itself. But everything worked out in my favor. And so being calm, being patient, and being kind took me a long way. But I was kind of skeptical because it was nighttime. I didn't know where I was going and everything. But, I live on the edge anyway. I had reached out to patients and to my twin. And so I knew that they were working on my behalf to find out what's really going on with me. Because this is very scary when you don't have the support group that you need. But one thing I learned about them people over there, they're going to take care of you. They're going to love you. Oh, guess what? They don't steal either. I left my phone at the restaurant. When I came back, that phone was right there. Do you understand me? So they don't steal. Now I want to do a sidebar right here. I need for you to go to QuriousOnline.com. I need for you to support me, buy some of those wonderful things that I have. I have Qurious multi-sprays. I have the shea butter if you need your hair braided. I do all kinds of things. And never get discouraged when you're on vacation or you're leaving the country. Be pleasant. Make sure you are riding with the Lord because He's always your front guard. He's always your rear guard. And I always say He has my side guard as well. And you got to be open when you're traveling. If you're not open when you're traveling, don't go nowhere. And don't be complaining because they don't do a lot of things like us. Okay, I wanted the donut. I had a fiend for a donut. They don't have our kind of donuts. They don't microwave our car. It's just a totally different way of living over there. But one thing, I had peace of mind. I didn't have to worry about nobody harming me. And it's a mighty beautiful thing. And my thing to you is everybody should leave the country, the United States. Once you leave the country, you may not want to come back to the United States. I didn't want to come back. Well, anyway. Moving purpose, understand why you're moving in purpose, and don't be just out here moving, and find a destination to go to. And I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be a beautiful journey. Okay. I need for you to like, I need for you to share and subscribe. Again, they're trying to push me to go live. I'm still learning, but I'm willing to go live. So do that for me. Subscribe. They say it's very important. So subscribe. Until the next time. Peace out.
Lord, do it for me. Oh Lord.